Hey everybody, here again with another one. Today I'm here to check out The Goat Who Lied to Everyone by Odd Ones Out. So it has been a while since the last Odd Ones Out video. I mean, I know nowadays it takes like every 3 months to make a new video. But hey, I'm back here to see what James is talking about, so okay, who's the goat that lied?
Quick, what do we know about goats? They stiffen up and fall over
They
when
make
they're
cheese.
scared. Good, what else?
They eat cans.
Oh, I know! Their kids have the same name as our kids. Which is
What?
kids. Yeah, that does open the door for some pretty hilarious puns. Anything else? Yes, you in the back? You don't want to stare into their eyes for too long. Well, class,
What?
I'll admit,
Also, is
you
this the
do
Harry
know
Potter
a bit
school?
about goats.
Or
but you're
something?
all
Isn't that what
forgetting
these kids
the
are wearing?
most iconic goat fact of all. You know,
Why is he
their
always
goats
cheeked up?
scream. Goats scream.
Oh yeah, that. I forgot about that.
Anyone who knows anything about goats know that these rectangle-eyed demons make weird
What's that
human-sounding
SpongeBob
screams.
frame?
And we all find these little freaks of nature so funny that screaming goats get referenced in all sorts of media, like commercials and movies. And are still getting referenced as recently as 2024. So why then did Peter Griffin call this a sheep?
Sorry guys, somebody emailed me a video of a sheep screaming.
Now that I think about it, Conan
Is this a
O'Brien
film
called this
theory
a sheep
video?
too.
There's a viral video going around of a sheep. This is real.
And if this really is a goat, why is the original video called The Screaming Sheep?
And I've never, ever in my life seen a sheep or met a sheep that's
Bro, is this a whole controversy, really?
This is the face that will haunt your dreams.
What did you see?
lamb. They were screaming.
That was the worst Super Bowl call in the history of the
What does this have to do with
Sorry to burst the bubble, children.
People are saying it's fake and that it's dubbed over.
It's good.
This is real.
Chapter 1. Why did we all think this was a goat? This
Okay.
has to be like one of them Mandela effects, right? You're telling me this unedited 6-second video that shaped an entire generation's perception of what the common barn animal goats scream like wasn't even a goat? Someone's been pulling the wool
Is he gonna
over
wear
all
the
of
goat
our eyes.
costume
Or
all
maybe
episode? That's
the original
hilarious.
poster is deceptive and untrustworthy, and this really is a goat. Hey, I'm not gonna stand for you questioning the integrity of the original poster. They would never lie to us. Okay, let's see. All the other videos on their channel are of sheep. In fact, it's only sheep. I can't even find one stinking goat on this whole stinking farm. And if we get real investigating and use an internet archive, we can clearly see that the video
He's really
was
doing like a film
always
theory
called
type
The
video right
Screaming
now.
Sheep. But I'm positive it's screaming goats we love so much, because if you type screaming goats into Amazon, you get all of the screaming goat merch, and if you type screaming sheep, you get all of the screaming goat merch. And just because I have another example, in the Shaun the Sheep movie, they had a whole farm of sheep
I remember
that
this guy.
anyone of could
I didn't
have
see the
screamed,
movie though, I only
but
saw
it's
the show.
one and only goat character that goes. Granted, the sheep in the original video was just recently sheared, so I understand that it doesn't immediately give "this is a sheep" vibes. But were Peter
Bro, these
Griffin
animation
and
frames
Conan
are
O'Brien
amazing.
really the only ones who read the title, while the rest of us collectively thought, I think I know what a goat sounds like, and that is definitely a goat. How did we get from a 6-second video of a screaming sheep to all these goats? Chapter 2. The beginning.
Lord
According
Love
to
and
this
Thunder.
Google Trends graph, from 2005 to 2008, no one gave a shit about screaming goats. And that makes sense. No one knew they could do that. But
Okay,
then,
first 3
just
years
at
of my
the
life,
start of
goats
the
didn't matter.
2008 housing market crash, we see
Oh
a little
yeah.
bump. I believe
I'm really
this is
wondering-
because videos of animals making
I
unexpected
remember I hear about like the 2008 like housing problem, and I always wonder like how did my parents deal with that? Granted, yeah, how do they deal with that? I think about that sometimes when I hear about it because they were by the time in 2008 I had my brother and he was like 1 years old, and I know around that time my parents were looking for a different house situation and everything, so I don't know. I think about that
sounds.
sometimes.
was kind of the thing back then. Videos like Man Goat and Man Argues with Spitting Goat made the rounds from 2008 to 2011, but their success kind of stayed on the internet, you know? Like, they were funny videos, but nothing I'd make a commercial about. 2012 rolled around, and people were done with screaming goats. But one user still had hope that, in time, people would once again care about screaming hooved animals. On the 8th of April, 2012, while everyone was enjoying a nice Easter Sunday on the Screaming Sheep farms, the YouTube user AJQ2891 captured the exact moment that their recently sheared Oxford sheep Ophelia let out a humorous and completely genuine scream. Then, for the rest of the day, they painted eggs or something, I don't know. But then, on the very next day, AJ posted the video for the entire world to witness Ophelia's monumental sheep scream. And almost overnight, the video would be seen by no one. And it would stay that way for the next 5 months, until one day when the video would fall upon the eyes of a Redditor. And baby, I'm low on karma. Ophelia's video got posted on Reddit, and then reposted on Reddit, and then seemingly overnight, Ophelia the Screaming Sheep went viral. Ophelia was so beloved that she found herself off the internet too, on places like Conan
over
and this
a
RudeTube
sheep
that I couldn't find clips for because I'm not British. With Screaming Sheep being the next viral sensation, AJQ quickly ran out to the farm, recorded another hilarious scream of Ophelia, and managed to record some of their screaming lambs. Guess that's why it's called the Screaming Sheep Farm.
These animals are terrifying.
Every animal here has a weird, unnatural scream. Honestly, it's a nightmare to live here. Also, we know it's Ophelia who stars in the Screaming Sheep 2 because we can see she's wearing the same ear tags in both videos. That, and she screams like identically in both videos. But that makes sense, you know, it's the same sheep, so of course it's gonna sound the same. You know how consistent a sheep's screams are these days. We're not really gonna be looking a whole lot at these two videos, but they're gonna be important later on, so just keep them in the back of your mind. Things were looking great for our girl. She was beloved by millions of people who all found joy in listening to the soothing sounds of her completely genuine sheep scream. Chapter 3. Seriously, why did we all think this was a goat? I wasn't able to find the original Reddit post that exploded Ophelia into stardom, but we do know a Reddit post did exist because it was mentioned in the Screaming Sheep NFT description.
They make NFTs off this?
Apparently, a lot of old viral videos are now
non-fungible
tokens. I don't really want to get into that right now. If we instead just shift our focus to the NFT's description, we find a lot of useful information. Like, this is the only place I've found.
This Ophelia I filmed at the Screaming Sheep Easter morning 2012 in Temple, New Hampshire, USA. Not New Hampshire, whatever that place is. She was freshly sheared a few days prior, which is why many mistake her for a goat. But you can rest assured she is a sheep of Oxford breed from April 12th when I posted it. Until April 12th, 2012, the Screaming Sheep generated about 1,000 views on YouTube until 1/5 a day hit from the page of Reddit, and that's its history. Screaming Sheep become one of the most beloved memes of all time. Views from brands big and small across the world, including Samsung, Dodge, Nickelodeon, MTV, True TV, RudeTube, Family Guy, Team Coco, and many more. Okay. And a Sprite commercial. Okay.
Where we learn Ophelia's real name. I'm hoping it's accurate. Now, this might just be how
Sorry if I read that. Y'all probably skipped over it or
whatever.
whatever.
I read, this is Ophelia. I filmed the Screaming Sheep.
No, you just read it anyway.
I
wasted all that time for nothing.
Ophelia was the name of the person recording, AJQ. Luckily, we have the Screaming Sheep 2's NFT description to clear things up. See, I told you those videos are going to be important later on. Ophelia, the sheep featured in the original,
Oh, never
is
mind. I
also
thought I was
the
going to read the whole
star
thing. I
of
would have felt
this
so
video.
stupid.
Oh, I get it now. This is Ophelia. Like you're pointing at her. This is Ophelia. Hi, Ophelia. Anyways, getting back to that uncredited Reddit post, I was able to find this Reddit post from September 7th, 2012, but I have reasons to believe it still wasn't the Reddit post. However, this post does give us some valuable insight into what a viral Ophelia Reddit post may have looked like. Already, there were a surprising amount of people who were commenting things like, "Oh, Take my upvote, kind stranger. Hey, you know what this video reminds me of?
Who is this supposed
A
to be in real
different
life?
screaming goat video. Since there
I
had
swear this
already
person
been a
is referenced in
precedent
all
of goats
Reddit
being the
material.
common
Who
barn
is that
animal
supposed to
that
be in
made
real
weird,
life?
unnatural screams, and because Ophelia had the most goat-looking haircut that day, that if someone told you this is a goat, you would believe them unquestionably, because why would someone lie about that? Turns out, people lied about it. Ophelia's video was featured in multiple and extremely popular goat screaming like people compilations. And I can't really blame the people who made these compilations because they couldn't make a whole separate sheep scream like people compilation. I've only found one other video of a sheep screaming that wasn't on AJQ's channel, and that's not enough to make a whole compilation. Misinformation about Ophelia's species was rampant.
playing around with
no one
animals
had an
for fun
NFT
all day.
description to fact check because honestly, the concept of that is kind of insane. They just had to trust reputable news sources like Anderson Cooper to get his facts right. And even he couldn't do that.
Now, I've seen a lot of creepy goats on YouTube, like this one.
I've seen a lot of creepy goats on
Chapter
YouTube.
4. I
What's
knew
this
you
man
were
doing in his
trouble.
free time?
In February 2013, the YouTube user Goosick had the brilliant idea of editing Ophelia's scream over a
It's crazy
popular
all this
Taylor
stuff is more
Swift
than
song.
a decade old now.
Don't you
like,
wish
come
you
on.
thought of something like that, AJQ? Replacing the audio of something with a goofier and unexpected sound? People are so creative. I wish I could show you the specific edit that I'm talking about, but I know Miss Swift won't like it if I play even a second of her song. So we're just gonna have to do this.
Yeah. He's gonna do a cover.
Never mind, I don't want to do this. I'm just going to assume you've already seen the edit that I'm
That
talking
would have been
about
hilarious
because
if we
it was
got the
viewed
James
by
cover of
everyone.
of Trouble.
Everyone saw this edit. Taylor Swift saw this edit. And she liked it.
It's good.
I know I don't usually
It's
tell
good.
stories about my personal life, but
The
if you
live
allow me
Taylor
this
Swift
one
reaction.
time, I
It's
remember
good.
one night in 2013 being at a high school dance, and the Taylor Swift goat song came
Oh yeah, I
on,
guess this guy
and right
is.
when the
I
beat
guess this guy
dropped,
was in high school
all the
back
teachers
then.
supervising had
How
no
old is
clue why
James?
the
He's gotta be
entire
like 30.
school screamed. It was because
He's probably
we were
older than
all
30, but
mimicking
still.
that hilarious screaming sheep. Now,
He was in
the
high school in
issue with all of
2013. He would
this
have to be like,
is that Goosick titled their video,
I don't know.
I knew you were a goat when you walked in. So history's changed forever. February 2013 was the start of the screaming goat meme. During this time, there were plenty of real videos of real goats making real screams that were also shared and beloved by people.
Remember that
But
song
there's
was
no
my stuff
denying
back in the
that
day. I would
Ophelia's
still listen to it
scream
today,
was
but
the
I haven't
goat
in a
of
very
goat
long time.
screams. And she's not
No, I
even a
have. I played it.
YouTubers react
It
to
showed up
goat
on my
remixes,
Spotify randomly one
commercials
day.
featuring screaming goats. Hey, what animal did they get in YouTube Rewind 2013 to scream?
Sorry,
Oh,
I
that's
was
right,
paying
it was
attention for the past like a minute. I was too busy
As much as
thinking
AJQ
about the
tried to
Taylor
remind
Swift
people
song.
of Ophelia's species in the description, the damage was already done, and the meme had gone completely out
I
of
thought
their
it was Harry
control.
Potter for a second.
You
Wait,
might
what?
think that, like any other meme, people would have their fun with it, but eventually they'd move on. But that didn't
Dang.
happen with
Poor
this particular
Pop-Tart
meme.
cat or whatever.
No, Ophelia's goat scream was about to find a new home in Hollywood.
In Hollywood.
In
Okay.
November 2014, something happened that caused people's interest
This is
in
a Cowboy
screaming
Bebop
goats
song in the
to
background.
massively spike up. And I have no clue what caused that. I don't know. It's one of those unsolvable mysteries, I suppose. Look, in all of my research, I couldn't find anything
Taylor
significant
Swift.
that would have caused this massive spike. So think back. Did you ever use Google to search for screaming goats in November 2014?
No.
And if so,
No.
why? But while we're looking at the Google Trends graph, only 3 months later, we see another bigger peak in interest at February 2015. And I think I know what caused that. If I had to pick the most
What?
important date in screaming
What
goat
happened
history,
at that point?
February 1st, 2015 would be like in the top 5. Solid A tier for sure. On that specific
Wow,
Sunday,
okay.
3 different companies all released commercials referencing screaming goats. How did I know it was Sunday?
okay then.
Because it was Super Bowl Sunday, baby! You know,
Okay,
the
that
season
makes
finale
sense.
of football that gets around
The season
114
finale.
million viewers. It's such an important football game that companies will pay top dollar for a couple seconds of ad space. And the 2015 Super Bowl Super Bowl Xlix aired 2 Screaming Goat commercials. One of them just
Xlix.
using the original
I was so
clip of
confused for a
Ophelia,
second.
which I'm still counting as a
I wonder
Screaming
if James
Goat
watches
commercial
football.
because the iSpot.tv page for this ad credits Ophelia as a goat.
I could see if he does it, but I could see if he
was
does
just
at the
part of the
same
Geico
time.
campaign, and they played a different
Like,
ad from that campaign.
you can never
at the
always,
Super
you can
Bowl,
never
but
tell who does
could you
and doesn't
imagine if they
watch
played the
sports.
goat one instead? That would have been so
Like,
cool.
you probably don't know,
Now,
but I don't
a
watch
new
sports
and
at all.
bigger audience of people,
Unless
people
I'm,
who
like,
watch sports,
with other
all
people
believe
that are
goats
watching
are
it,
the
then I'll
ones
be
who
like, oh,
scream like
okay,
that.
I'll watch.
The reason this Super Bowl
I don't
is
hate
so
sports,
important
it's
to
just
the
not my
Screaming Goat
thing to
historian
pick.
community is because this was the game that every
Minion.
animation studio executive
And
watched
Odd Ones
and
Out Minion.
simultaneously agreed that Screaming Goats were the funniest, freshest thing ever. Think about it. You're an animation studio executive. You see 2 Screaming Goat commercials during the
When did
same
Illumination
football
use
game.
the goat
A couple
thing?
days later, you see a 3rd Screaming Goat commercial. Hey, isn't it almost
No, it had
Chinese
to be
New
in
Year?
there.
What animal is it this time?
Minions- this
that would be
Illumination
the
has
year
to
of
have
the
done it
goat.
once.
Within
I
the
just
next
can't think right
3-ish
now.
years, Screaming Goats were referenced in animated movies at a rate I've never seen memes get.
Okay, so we got Ice Age, Collision Course, the Sickle Me 3, Ferdinand, Wreck-It Ralph, Rex the Internet or whatever, The Grinch, and whatever the heck this is on the bottom left. I don't know what that is.
Referenced in animated movies before. You couldn't escape Screaming Goats.
I mean, I
if you
might, but
tried.
it doesn't look
Thor
familiar
4
at
beat
all.
you over the head with that.
Yeah, I'm about to say
and they
Thor
might
did it.
be in Marvel Rivals, but I couldn't get these goats to scream when I played.
All right.
On, scream.
Wow.
Scream.
Does James
My
have
theory
a
is
gaming
that people
channel?
complained about it, so they took
I
it
would
out.
actually like to
But
see
now I'm
James
gonna
play
complain about
Marvel
it for
Rivals.
them to put it back in. And it really gets my goat that goats are
No,
remembered
don't the
as
goats
the common
scream when you
barn
play
animal who
Thor's,
make
like,
that iconic scream, and it's unfair
his,
that
hero
calling
char or
someone
whatever
a goat
on
is
the
a
game?
compliment, but calling someone a
You
sheep
have the Thor Love and
is an
Thunder skin?
insult.
'Cause I have the
Goats
skin.
have already taken enough from sheep. I need to calm down. So, what do you say, Ophelia? Think you can belt one more out for us?
Doesn't it have the
For old
Luffy hat
time's
on?
sake?
It's probably not, but it just kind of looks
Come
like
on,
it.
girl. Do the scream.
Why did he just... Is he spawning into different outfits?
What was that?
Yeah.
Stop that.
Yeah.
Ophelia, why aren't you screaming? You were the one who screamed in the original video, right?
Yeah.
Chapter 6,
Ah!
working title, Deception. I'm not
What
proud
is
to
that?
admit
Oh,
this,
Wolf in
but
Sheep's Clothing.
sometimes I'll watch a
Is this a
video
Beauty
at
Pie
2 times
reference?
speed. You know, like an iPad kid. But then YouTube will remember I did that and think I want to watch every video that fast.
I was
So
an
it
iPad
wasn't
kid,
that
relatively
jarring when I
speaking.
pulled up the original video and noticed Ophelia was
I
obviously
didn't get
sped
iPad,
up.
so I was like, how?
It's only
not an
became
iPad,
jarring
a
once I
tablet. I didn't get one
realized
until I was like, I don't know, 10?
The video was playing at
Years
the
old, maybe?
normal speed. I caught this on like my
10,
40th
11, something
rewatch,
like that.
but this is clearly sped up, right? I didn't do anything to this. This is
Had
how
a
the clip has
Navi.
always been. So that means at some point, this video was put into a video editing software and underwent video manipulation. But that doesn't automatically mean Ophelia didn't hilariously scream. AJ just wanted us to hear the scream sooner. That's why they sped up the footage. And okay, I will admit that it is a little weird that at the start of the video we can hear the background noises like the wind and other farm animals.
I mean, you
But
can't
when
hear anything
Ophelia
else
starts
afterwards.
screaming, everything kind of just cuts out. But that's probably just because Ophelia screamed so loudly that it
That it clipped
drowned
everything
out all
else?
the background noise. I don't know what a spectrogram is, and all right, I do find it intriguing that Ophelia's scream sounds identical to the scream
I
this
like how
cartoon
I like how
Fox
it just
made in
does
the
look like
short
a film theory
Pop by
video
Bernard
now.
Derryman that came out 2 years before AJ's video.
Video was that?
But maybe Bernard just used a recording of his own Oxford sheep.
Yeah,
You
it
know
just
how
does kind of look like a
similar
film
a
theory
sheep's
video.
screams
Because, like,
are
you got
these
all these
days.
shifting
I, for one,
pictures and
would
stuff
never
and everything
accuse
like that.
AJQ of faking this
And you got
important
James
piece
just
of
doing the
history
whole
that
thing
has
where he
brought
moves
joy to
into different
millions
positions
What's
of
that?
movement.
They already found the source of the original scream? Stock sound effect from Apple released in 2008?
A stock sound effects.
Yeah, can I call you back? So that means it was never a screaming goat. It's always been a silent sheep. A classic example of a lie within a lie. I, of course, was not the first person to crack this case. People were suspicious
Yeah,
of
see, it
Ophelia's
has the same
authenticity
formula
within the
of like a
first
film theory
5
type
YouTube
video.
comments. No, the diligent
If you've seen a
internet
film theory
detective who
video,
cracked
you
this
know what I'm
case
talking
and
about,
found the
'cause it
original
looks just like
Scream
one.
was none other than
Well, I'm sorry to burst the bubble, children, but those are sound
Shane
effects.
Dawson?
So now he's involved in all of this. He's gonna need his own page on the wiki. If this is how you found
Wow.
out that one Screaming Goat video from 2012
With
is
Shane
fake,
all along.
I'm sorry. I know getting lied to is upsetting, but try imagining what it would feel like if everyone thought you were a goat when really you were a sheep. You know what else is fake? Most of the things on the internet. But you know what's not fake? The smiles
You
of
subscribing to my channel?
If
Nah.
AJQ told us from the very beginning that the
Nah,
video was
y'all
edited,
can do what y'all want. I don't care if y'all
edited-
subscribe
Why
or
can't I
not.
say that? Would we have even
At the end of the
listened
day,
to
it's
them?
y'all that
We
wanna
didn't
be
listen the
entertained.
whole time they told us Ophelia was a sheep. I don't think I could sum up my thoughts any better than the YouTube user.
I swear, you think
Just
you get used to the
Bored
freaking
puts it.
James
No,
cheeks throughout
it's
the
fake.
video, but like
This is just
it still
supposed to
just
be
surprises
funny.
me every time.
So the next time you inevitably see a screaming goat referenced in an animated movie, I hope you cringe, not because the joke isn't funny, but because you know it was never a goat that made that sound, but rather a sheep that also never made that sound. Chapter 7.
Wow.
Other things I wanted
The
to
live
mention,
footage.
but couldn't find a good spot for them, so I'm just gonna list them off while opening Screaming Goat merch. In YouTube Rewind 2013,
He's
they got
eating
goats
the
to
paper.
reference Ophelia's sheep scream, but they also had a goat make this sound, which is referencing a different viral video called Yeah Lamb.
Yeah.
So in YouTube Rewind 2013, they had goats steal the spotlight from not only sheep, but also lambs. You're how old? Oh my God, it moves. The very first Screaming Goat
That's
reference
hilarious.
in media I could find was on May 9th, 2015 from episode 25 of Sonic Boom. In case you needed an emergency
What?
goat.
Why was it a moose?
Ooh, what's in my hand? And then there's also this one.
Which wants to eat everything. Dang it.
Have you ever made this sound? We have
No, it's not a goat, dang it.
the Screaming Goat button
I like how he censored his belly.
that needs batteries. Wait, no, I just need to pull this. That was anticlimactic. Oh wait, I need to turn it on. Okay, now Star, can you do the honors? The Screaming Sheep 1 NFT was sold at 2.9 Ethereum.
The close-up is
which I
insane.
believe influenced AJQ to sell the
Looks like
Screaming
it's
Sheep
staring
2
into my
NFT
soul.
at 10 times the price, starting the bid at 29 Ethereum. And if you think it's crazy, someone would pay 10 times the amount for a viral. I can't read the card. If you think it's crazy that someone would spend 10 times as
Hey,
much
this is my
on a
lunch.
sequel to a viral video, then you're absolutely right, because no one bought the NFT. Except for right now. You're looking at the proud owner of the Screaming Sheep 2 and I'm just kidding, I didn't do that. I said screening. I'm here with Scout, the mother of Star from Party Goats LA. Have you heard of a goat make that sound before?
I have heard something similar, like if they're in distress, especially if they get left
I forgot
alone.
James got a tattoo in that one video.
Here's a fun fact for you. The way you can tell the difference between a goat and a sheep is actually by looking at their upper lip. Goat's upper lip is not split. The sheep's upper lip is split, and that helps them eat
Watch out for
grasses.
each finger off.
And it's actually called
Because
the
apparently
philtrum.
sheep just eat
But
everything.
Goats don't have it. So if you ever have a question, just look at their upper lip, and if it's split and it looks like it's just kind of a cleft right there, right under their nose, that's how you can tell the difference.
Star, what do you think?
We are Party Goats LA.
The breathing in the
We do all kinds
earpiece.
of things, everything goat and sheep related
Party
here in Los
goat.
Angeles. We do brush clearance, parties, events, send a surprise goat with our Goatgram, goat yoga, hiking with
Hey,
goats.
free
Pretty
advertising.
much anything people want to do.
Hey, thanks for watching this video. Big thanks to everyone who worked on this video and made it possible.
Hey, it was good seeing you again, James. It's always a good day when James uploads. Because it's always just like a once in a few months event. And it's always just a fun thing to see this man come back with more wild information. That was it for this one. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you want to watch me reacting to TV shows and movies, we got a Patreon link down below. And I'll see you on the next one. And God bless.